40 is a project that Kenny Anderson, Chris Roberts, and myself just started. We're starting with t-shirts. As you know, a lot of like brands or projects, like you have to start with something, and we have tons of ideas that don't really belong anywhere else or fit anywhere else. So Back 40 is a home for all of the ideas that we have that don't really vibe with anything else that we're involved in. So we just decided to get together and just like do a project. That's the best way to describe it. It's just a project. Yeah. It's not like, oh, we have a company. It's just a project we're doing. So it includes like lots of different projects with other people. Like Kenny's going to be doing solar stuff with the people from Goal Zero, probably some camping stuff with Polar. It's kind of like, oh, we have these great ideas. They don't go here, they don't go there. Like we'll just lump all these rad ideas for like video projects, media stuff into this thing, and we'll just see like what happens with it. Just let it organically grow, you know. Fully Flared was the most difficult time for me. And I think it was for a lot of different reasons. It was hard mentally because we were traveling so much, and that like wears you down, you know. So we were traveling almost constantly for 4 years or something. And after a while, and I went on like almost every single trip. And after a while, sort of like the conditions under which we were filming were not conducive to sanity. During that time is when I really started drinking, like a lot. Yeah. I didn't really drink before that video. I mean, I drank sometimes, yeah. But when we were going on all those trips, back to back to back to back to back, a lot of them were in foreign countries, and I just developed a habit of, it's like, oh yeah, we're in Spain, like I'm gonna go get a six-pack. You know, and then like we're gonna go get a couple bottles of wine at night, and then we're gonna go out to the bar, and then the next morning I feel like shit, so I'm gonna have a couple beers. During that, filming that video, like I became a fucking alcoholic. And I'm not putting that on anybody else. Like I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm just saying that that's a fact. Like as a way for myself to cope with those conditions, I chose to drink alcohol, a lot of alcohol, because it just sort of like numbed everything out or whatever. And it's like, so the conditions for that video set those choices in motion, which then carried over into the rest of my life, my non-skate life, and just ruined it. And when that video was over, like, it's like, oh yeah, the video's over. I didn't stop drinking. I kept. That was like something that I just like, sort of like became ingrained in me. That switch nose blunt slide to backside nose blunt slide on that like hollow fucking tin box. It was on top of a roof. So this was like the access duct to like this store or something. And then there was this piece of angle iron welded across the middle of it. So I had to jump over that. And I can do switch nose blunt slides, and I remember just going, oh, all I have to do is just kind of like hop into a backside nose blunt slide. That fucking thing, no matter how much you waxed it, it would fucking stick. I tried that fucking trick for like 5 hours or something, and I just was one of those things of like, I'm doing everything right, like why isn't this fucking sliding? You know, and it was just, that was fucked up. That was one of those tricks where I tried that trick so long that everybody was mad at me. Like Costin was mad at me. Like, dude, you're not gonna do it, let's fucking get out of here. Everybody was super tired, everyone was just grumpy, you know, and that was like toward the end of the video, so I think by then, like, people's nerves were fried anyway, so any little thing would set people off. Like, Alex Olsen was pissed. Everybody was like, dude, let's just go. Like, give it up. And I ended up doing it. And then there was another one in North Carolina that I tried for like some ridiculous amount of time. Like we got to the spot at like 2 in the morning, and we were still there at like 8 a.m. filming. The sun had come up, like that kind of shit. And it was a nollie flip back lip down a rail. And I did one, but it wasn't used in the video. Well, I remember taking a piss in the bushes, and I heard this weird noise, and I was like, what the fuck is that? You know, it's like, it sounds like birds chirping or whatever, you know? And I remember like kind of looking up behind me and it was light outside. Guy missed a flight because we're all at this spot and we are his ride to the airport. He missed his flight because we were still filming. Jeremy Rogers or somebody. He's like ridiculously fucking talented. He's like really fucking intelligent. But does these things like would be like skateboarding's equivalent of like Trapped in the Closet, where people are like, what the fuck? Because I've seen some of his YouTube stuff and I'm just like, dude, is he kidding? The skateboarding culture, you know, like started out as its own thing from surfing. It seems like it was just this like really weird, the short shorts and the fucking gear, you know? But it was its own thing. And I know a lot of dudes sort of like co-opted like punk rock into there. They brought punk rock into it through sort of borrowing from certain other cultures, taking a little bit over here, a little bit over here, a little bit here. It really was its own culture, you know, really unique. It was like you were a social outcast. Definitely through the early 90s, like with the big clothes and shit, nobody did that. Like skateboarders were the fucking first. You know, and it's like the little trends that just kind of started out of nowhere, like the chain wallets. We didn't invent the chain wallet. Like somebody that we idolized wore a chain wallet, so everybody fucking wore chain wallets. It was like a really special thing because it was totally fucking unique. From skateboard stuff, like a lot of other brands sort of bit skateboarding. Rollerbladers stole it. Snowboarders stole it. Everyone just stole it. And skateboarders are like, once they see someone outside their group, I don't know, rock their shit or whatever, they're over it. They're like, you just fucking bit our shit. We don't even want to deal with it anymore. We're over it. We're gonna move on to something new. And literally overnight, big ass clothes just went away. When they rebelled against that, what did they go to? Polo, Nautica, Tommy Hilfiger, like North Face, fucking just jock shit. Like overnight skaters went from being like these like total circus clown misfits to fucking frat boys. Skateboarders collectively sort of abandoned our individuality, but at the time, not doing the big clothes or not dressing like a skater was a way to be an individual, a way to stand out. But where they went fashion-wise to stand out was something that was already there. But what's crazy is like when, you know, the first time you saw somebody wear a jersey over a t-shirt, because of the way skateboarding was, it was almost like, oh dude, that dude's like fucking doing his own shit. That's like so weird and unique or whatever. And it was like kind of rad. But it's almost like as a joke. I thought, the first time I saw somebody wearing a jersey, I thought it was like a joke. And it wasn't. It was like going back to everything that you rebelled against. Like rebelling against what you established. Then the fucking punk rock thing came in, which that's just biting off of the late 70s, like Sex Pistols, Ramones, Sex Pistols. Like name any punk band from that era, and so skaters went from that fucking preppy, jockey, lame look to another look collectively that they just borrowed from someone else. And then there was a phase of like classic rock, the 60s and like early 70s, like long hair, bandanas. Since the early 90s, like skaters have just, now we just borrow off of, we just bite mainstream shit. Which to me is like, because I know what it was at one point, and I have that frame of reference, through my eyes, it's fucking horrible. You know? It's like you've got these guys who are like, oh, I'm punk rock, oh, I'm fucking classic rock, and then there's hip hop and rap, where these dudes are just dressing like they fucking live in a rap video, which I'm just like, God, man, like, there is no real you. Like, lights on, no one's home, like, who are you?
Yeah.
Because I know who you're trying to be or who you're fucking pretending to be.
Totally.
You don't even know who the fuck you are. You're borrowing your opinions, your tastes, all that shit from fucking mainstream culture. That's, through my eyes, that's fucking garbage.